Let's be honest, stocks are overvalued. With so many stocks and sectors going up exponentially, is now the time to be cautious? Well, in this video, I'm going to answer that using SoundHound AI stock as an example. So Jay Powell fronted the cameras on Wednesday and basically laid the smackdown on the stock market after cutting short the expected rate cuts from 4 next year to only 2. In fact, some market participants expect no rate cuts at all next year. And why did the market not like this? Well, stocks are sensitive to the Fed funds rate, which the Federal Reserve controls. When this rate undergoes a cutting cycle, as it is now, it basically lowers the cost of capital, which makes it cheaper for companies to raise money. It also makes stocks more attractive as an investment than bonds. These factors combine to bid up the prices of stocks, leading to a bull market. But like I previously mentioned, the rate cutting cycle now appears to look much shorter than anticipated, which weighed on the stock market on Wednesday. And bear with me for a moment here because I'm going to tie it in with SoundHound soon. Just a few weeks ago, Jay Powell appeared more concerned with lowering unemployment than inflation. However, it looks like he has now flipped, becoming increasingly more wary of rising inflation. Indeed, the rising 10-year Treasury yield over the past couple of weeks, which is a good long-term proxy for the Fed funds rate, indicates that the Fed is unlikely to keep cutting much further. So what does this have to do with SoundHound again, you may ask? Well, stocks like SoundHound are more sensitive to changes in the interest rate than, say, large cap stocks. On that note, let's talk about some SoundHound related events. In the second week of January, SoundHound will be unveiling its much anticipated voice commerce platform. This is the third pillar of SoundHound's business strategy and arguably the one with the most potential when it comes to total addressable market. Voice commerce essentially allows people to make purchases, well, through voice. It appears SoundHound is leveraging its existing technology to allow customers to buy meals in-car as they are driving. This is a totally new commerce platform, and if it takes off, the upside could be enormous. In the beginning, I think SoundHound is going to start just with restaurants, but down the road, more and more industries could be added, which could be multiplicative in terms of revenue. Furthermore, the company will be demonstrating its continued partnership with NVIDIA with what looks like an in-car edge computing demonstration. Edge computing is basically being able to use a computer offline without an internet connection. So it's sort of like downloading an offline version of Google Maps to navigate areas without network coverage. If you want to actually go see this event in person, it's at the CES from January the 7th to the 10th. Now, before I go into details of what I did with my SoundHound position, I just want to mention Dan Ives, the star technology analyst. On December the 16th, he raised his price target for SoundHound from $10 to $22. In fact, this target was of course overtaken in the last few days as the stock went up to more than $24. Ives reckons SoundHound represents an underappreciated pure play AI company, and I would add that it is the leader in voice AI and is a trailblazer in trying to commercialize it through voice commerce. He goes on to say that the company is likely to expand its total addressable market and growth trajectory in 2025, and that SoundHound is still in the early stages of capitalizing on its growth initiatives.
Any thoughts on SoundHound?
Look, it's been our favorite small cap, right? I mean, I just think it's one where very easily people could just focus on valuation and hate it. But if you understand the technology, you understand the algorithms, it continues to be one of our favorite names for 25. And I think that
NVIDIA also invested in them as well. Yeah.
But if you focus just on valuation, you miss these stories. I'm not saying stocks don't get ahead of themselves, come down. But my view of like SoundHound is like this is a name that continues to be like they're going to be a long-term player in this market.
So with that said, why did I sell my SoundHound shares? It's a combination of reasons. The first is the macroeconomic backdrop. With the Fed basically saying that the rate cutting cycle is nearly at an end, it's almost always a bad outlook for stocks. High-flying small caps like SoundHound would be particularly vulnerable to a broad stock market correction. The second is that SoundHound has gone up a lot already this year. It started off at around $2 and has since gone up more than 800% in just 12 months. That is extraordinary performance for a stock. Now, I'm not saying that number can't go up to 1000% by the end of the year, but I'm very happy with taking profits at these prices. Now, my average cost is about $5, so I have more than quadrupled my money. By the way, I sold at just over $20, which was nowhere near the top of more than 24, and unfortunately, that's what happens when you sell. You almost never time the top. Furthermore, there is a peace of mind element to the profit taking. After having such a great year in the stock market, I didn't want to go into the holiday season with a 20 to 30% drawdown in my portfolio. There's nothing worse than spending time with your family and ruminating about lost opportunities or lost profits. I want to start the new year with the reassurance of having locked in some profit and with a big enough cash balance that I can redeploy. One point I want to make is that I did not sell all of my shares in SoundHound. I sold the short-term investing portion of my holdings, which is about 3/4, and left the remaining quarter as a long-term investment, which I want to keep for many years to come. Ironically, this is where true wealth is created in the stock market, over long periods of time. The reason why I have a short-term aspect to my investing is because I hate volatility. So my approach is sort of like a hybrid. It's got both short-term and long-term aspects. But what do I think of the stock price going forward? Is SoundHound going to crash? Well, to be honest, it's hard to say with any sort of conviction. It looks like the parabolic price trajectory is still in play for SoundHound, but it needs to finish Friday strongly in the positive. This means that the price momentum would still be present, which in turn means we are more likely to see higher prices next week, probably higher than $24. But if it falls again like it did on Thursday, there is a chance that we may see prices go as low as the mid-teens or even lower. So the finish on Friday is going to be crucial for this stock and many others. There's a lot of nervousness suddenly in the markets, and therefore I'm being very cautious. As such, I'm not looking to buy any stocks until at least after the new year, when things look a little clearer. I mean, look at what happened to the quantum computing sector on Thursday. QBTS went down more than 40% and D-Wave Systems went down nearly 30% alongside Rigetti. This is the dark side of the parabolic price trajectory. When the party ends, it does not end well. I'm going to do a separate video on the sector, so stay tuned for that. Anyway, I hope SoundHound stock doesn't crash because I still have shares in it, but at the same time I feel like I can weather the price volatility a little bit better now because I have lessened my exposure. To conclude, as I get older, I believe more and more that it is important to preserve my emotional capital when trading and investing in speculative stocks. If I'm fully invested in the market but having trouble sleeping at night, constantly worried about my portfolio, is that a good way to live? Maybe not. Now, I'm not telling you to go out and liquidate your entire portfolio tomorrow. I've made my decisions and you need to make your own. And that depends on your investment goals, which is different for everybody. So I hope you found this video helpful, and I do want to stress that I still own SoundHound AI shares, just not as many as before, and I will continue to make SoundHound AI videos. If you like this video and you want to see some more, please hit the like and subscribe button. Thanks for watching and see you guys next time.